I feel like they're all amazing publications, and I love them. But I think there's that sense of, if I have permission for a while, I can't necessarily go to them with a pitch. But the Everyday magazine is here in that sense of can come forward with an idea, and I love to hear it.
Yeah, there is a confidence thing, isn't there? Very much so with people that, as I say, and I'd probably include myself as well in that. Is that used to write, but now I'm not sure. You read articles, and you think, wow, that was a great article. I don't think I can do that anymore. Or you write it and then leave it because you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
definitely. Sorry, carry on.
No, you carry on. Go.
Well, it was just, I totally agree. I think that it's 100% that, in that when you don't have somewhere to post it, or when you're working full time, or when you're caring for, if you've got children to care for, or if you are a full-time carer, as the case for a lot of people writing, you don't necessarily have that time for publications that are, they have a very specific brief, for example, or it's, very. For a reason, they have very strict deadlines and things like that, but it does mean that it's a bit intimidating and it's hard to go towards it. But actually, I think having a publication and knowing it's going to be read by people does give you that motivation to pick up the pen and start writing again.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm looking here. You've got 230 writers, a 2-month waiting list at the moment because people are sending so much content. But surely that's a positive thing, because it means that people feel confident enough and welcome enough to want to submit stuff. Even just reading that, for me, makes you think, do you know what? I'm not going to be judged. Maybe maybe I'll send something in. And during this time of lockdown, we're reading more. We want more information, and often we don't want to go to the usual sources. We want to have an alternative view, or maybe a real view of somebody that's experiencing stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I wondered how the pandemic was going to affect people writing, and how whether the motivation would be less. But actually, it's just meant that so many people have got in touch and wanted to write, because they've had the time both to write some more, but also maybe to reflect some more and think about some ideas. And it's been amazing. Yeah, the amount of people coming forward is always amazing. I wake up every day and I've always got so many emails and Facebook messages, and it's amazing just to go through and read all the ideas. And it's absolutely incredible. And I think just people knowing that they've got that, and that it will be read by people, and and I think as well, people are so scared before it gets, or so nervous, and I totally relate to that before something gets published. And then when it does, and they get comments coming back and saying, thank you for writing that, or especially because we get really personal stories. A lot of people choose to share really, really brave and really kind of, it's very much their life story in a sense. So
I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you about some of the stories or the type of stories that were coming. I'm sure that they're very diverse, but can you focus on maybe 2 or 3 and just in a short way, tell us some of the type of stuff that you've had.
Yeah, so we had, right at the beginning, a woman called Kerry. She wrote one about being a carer for her autistic son, and it was one of the first. She's now actually an editor for the magazine, but at the start it amazed me, because it was the first really personal story. And it's just about caring for her autistic son, who she loves so much, but also adjusting to being a mother in the routine of being a mother, and just adjusting to that sense of not being able to do whatever she wants when she wants it, and just being really honest in that. Another one that I think of is another quite recent one, which is about the experiences of being a child in the foster care system, and just some tips to people who will be fostering, and how to make what her experiences of what life, I think, the removal process, and actually being taken from her family in that quite traumatic experience, to then actually being introduced to her foster family, and how she felt it could have been handled in a better way, even though she knows the intention was all there. And I think, another story recently was about having to attend a funeral during the pandemic times, and having to be there virtually. It was her granddad's, and she was having to watch it virtually online.
Wow.
And how that felt for her. So they're really, really personal stories, and it's amazing that people have that, they trust in the platform to share it and do it well.
Yeah. and from the sounds of it, a real kind of, as I say, a real diverse selection of stories, and also looking at some of your information, it seems as though people from all walks of life as well, so maybe people that might be used to writing. Have you experienced much where there have been people, it might be the first or second time they've ever written something, and they want to know, what do you think of this? Because I know we certainly get that with broadcasting, community radio, so I've never done this before. And then you get them on air and you're thinking, oh my days, you are a natural. You need to do this more often.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy because people often, a question I often get is, oh well, if you're open to everyone, do you ever worry about the quality of work? But the quality of work has always been so amazing and actually incredible. And you read it and people will be so nervous and they'll be sending emails saying, oh, can I just tweak this, or can I just do this, or and I totally understand, because it's that who's going out for the first time and maybe they haven't written in years and years, or they used to write a lot, but then they went into a job which is doing something totally different and they felt they've lost that side of them. So it's kind of accessing that again, and the nerves are definitely there, but then you read it and you just you tell people like, this is amazing, and they always don't believe you. And then that's why I love telling people as well, when it's published, how many people have been reading it. And the comments that I receive, any comments that I get, I straight away pass them to them, and I'll say, oh, you're the most read article this month or whatever. And then I'm always like, what? No.
Yeah.
They always love it so much.
Yeah. No, that is amazing. So how can people connect with the Everyday Mag? Is it online? Is it just in print? How can people get hold of it and all those bits?
So it's just online right now. So they can either go on Facebook or Instagram, and they'll see all the articles come up there, which is just at the Everyday Magazine. Or they can just go on the website, which is theeverydaymagazine.co.uk, and they've got everything there. So there are plans for it to do kind of a print version, but right now it's all online because it means that we can just we can be there for everyone, not having to choose like, oh yes, we want you, but we don't want you, and that's really important.
How do you, I suppose in some shape or form, you need to moderate some of the stuff that comes in. So how and who decides what is and isn't suitable for publication in the Everyday Mag?
So the big thing is that there's no theme. So a lot of publications, because they'll do everything by a theme, so you kind of can choose who's being posted and who's not, because if it doesn't go with that. But we don't have a theme for the reason that it means that people can write a brief about something they really care about, so they can come to you with something that's their passion, for example, and they don't have to worry about being restricted in any sense. So we don't have to modify them there. The only thing, if something's rude or just offensive or doesn't align with, I try to really, really accepting of everything. If something's potentially not straight away at the quality, then I just work with them and I just give feedback, and we work through the draft together. Whether I need to phone them up and talk through things, whether we need to send a few Google Docs and kind of share through it and work through some ideas. I'm yet to have any single person who hasn't been able to get to the point of publication, because it's not about I say this in the nicest sense, but it's not about the reader, it's about the writers, giving people a space. So my main concern is kind of boosting the confidence of the people writing. So if that takes more time and more feedback, then that's fine. And I've yet to have well, I've had one person who it was something that was potentially a little bit rude, so I had to say no.
Okay.
But that's everyone else. It's always been fine. It's just maybe been a bit of work.
Okay, Jess, I'm really interested, and I love the idea of this magazine, and I think we should do a massive amount of stuff together. And for those people listening, if you're driving or wherever you are, don't stress. Everyday Mag is going to be shared on all of our BCfm platforms, so don't worry about that. You'll be able to click on and find them. But what is it that gave you the idea or the inspiration to start this online mag? Because it's not easy, is it? And it's hard work, and it costs as well.
Yeah, well, so it started off because it's a bit of a cliche stock answer, but I've always written, And when it was all through my life, either I was creating magazines, kind of really terrible ones, or when I went to university and I was the opinion editor, and I loved that, and it was my favourite part of it. I absolutely adored it. And then I left and I went straight into a full-time job, and I was commuting a lot, like long commutes. And I just had less time and I had less energy. And also, I didn't have a platform at my fingertips anymore. I was really privileged to have throughout my life just a platform that I can use. So when I had an idea, I knew where to go and to say I would like to, I'd like to publish this, and it gave me so much joy. And then as soon as I went into a full-time job, I realised, well, actually, I don't really know where to put. I did have a few articles published professionally, but then again, it was trying to make that work alongside a full-time job as well.
Yeah. And unfortunately, in so many magazines, we use that phrase clickbait, but that's what so much is nowadays. We'll see a story on social media, and it's not what we thought it was. It's designed to make us. It's designed to make us click, and if we click, the company that has received the click, can add up their millions of clicks and get loads of advertising, and it doesn't seem to be
it's
about
promoting something.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you click on it thinking it's a story, and it's actually just promotion. Yeah, definitely. And I think that's what's amazing is that all the stories are. I love that it's a community of people really sharing their lives, and it's in that sense that everyone has a story, and even if that story is just kind of a sense of therapy of talking about their lives, and it's also interesting and powerful to read. And I think that's what. So I set up the magazine initially as just thinking this could be a blog to myself, just because I needed to start writing again for my own happiness. And then I thought, well, I'll share it to my friends and family, just because I know how it made me feel. And then before I knew it, within like the first month, there was about 100 writers, and then it just maybe less like 50, then 100, and it carried on growing, and it must have struck a chord with people because it just. It's at the point now where it's something I never anticipated, and like at the launch party, it was amazing, and seeing everyone come together, and it's created a really nice sense of community that's keep growing, and it's lovely.
Brilliant. Okay. Jess, it's really lovely to talk to you on Breakfast Show this morning, and we certainly will be sharing the links, and what we'll do over the coming week or two, Ivan and myself or whatever, we'll talk with you and see how we could work together, maybe reflect on, bringing some of the stories to life by reading out on air or recording or podcasting and doing stuff like that, because it really is a great opportunity for people that don't normally write to try. So I'd urge you, go and search Everyday Mag or just find the links on our social media that will be up after the show. And as I say, I'm sure we'll talk again. Jess Blackwell from the Everyday Mag, thank you so much for joining us on the
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You take care. So we will, bye-bye. We will talk more about the Everyday Mag in the coming weeks.
Beautiful.
Taking us up to the final